Hello, dear friends. This is Kira Rudik, member of Ukrainian parliament and leader of the political party Holos. I'm speaking to you from Kiev, Ukraine. Happy Easter to you and your families, wishing you all the best. Today, we will be talking about the ceasefire for Easter that Russia has announced. We'll be talking about the elections in Hungary and how Orban lost after 16 years being in power, and about what it means for Ukraine, Europe, and the United States. Before we start, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment. I read them, I reply to them, and I really appreciate them because this is my way to communicate with you, my audience. So, let's start. Obviously, this so-called Easter ceasefire that Russia has announced was a tryout if this ceasefire would be any different than all the previous ones that we have seen before. And in all the negotiations, in all the public discussions, we were saying that without a proper organization to check and make sure that the ceasefire is taking place, without that, it will never work. And both sides will be accusing each other, and this is exactly what happened over this weekend. We have noticed at least 2,000 times when Russia broke the ceasefire, Russia said that Ukraine has done the same, etc., etc., again forgetting that they are the aggressor and they shouldn't be here at all, and they should celebrate somewhere else and leave our country for good. But unfortunately, we have what we have, and this is once again a proof that without a proper mechanism of ensuring ceasefire, of ensuring any peace deal, of the security guarantees, all the political proclamations will remain political proclamations and perhaps attempts, but they will never result in something bigger. There were some people in Ukraine and abroad who had these hopes, I would say magical thinking, that after successful Easter ceasefire, Russia will continue the ceasefire and then the war will go down like a Korean war to something without really proclamation of an end, but something that will just stop. What we see is that didn't happen, and we receive calls from Sumy region and Kharkiv region that there were still drone attacks on people during this holy holiday. So it is what it is, something that, again, we didn't have much hope that it will be different. Second point, what happened over this weekend and that we were really watching closely, eating our Easter food and having our festivities, is the elections in Hungary. Why were those elections so important? Because for the first time in 16 years, there was a chance that Viktor Orban and his party, Fidesz, that were in power for so long, had a chance to lose. And basically, they lost. Orban is a key leader who was stopping and blocking the EU support for Ukraine, was blaming Ukraine for all the bad things that were happening in Hungary, who basically built his campaign saying we don't want to be like Ukraine, and putting President Zelensky everywhere on the billboard, which I'm not sure legally that he is even allowed to do. But again, he didn't care. Orban started 16 years ago. Again, can you imagine European countries and somebody being in power legally for 16 years? So he started as actually Euro-optimist and a liberal, and he ended up being a person who shakes hands with Putin, who says that Ukraine is blowing up itself and that we are making up war, and somebody who is blocking the support for Ukraine, but somebody who is really not doing a good job for Hungarian people, and including the rule of law, the freedom of speech, many other things. Obviously, people hated that, and now they have elected a different leader and different majority, and there would be hopefully a different prime minister in June. Beforehand, Orban will still remain at his position. It was very important because basically Hungary was a place where European values were fighting with Russia's influence, but plus with American influence. What we have seen is President Trump, who is very good friends with Orban, and JD Vance supported him, and JD Vance even paid a visit to Hungary, where he criticized Ukraine for fighting for a piece of land, which is obviously not, and where he supported Orban and his case. What we see that even with these attempts, it did not work. So Europe can applaud to themselves, but I think it's not even that, but generally in the elections in the country, it's very rare where the external influence on the political level, not on an informational or disinformational level, it's very rare when the political influence has really changed the result-changing influence. And this is what happened here. So the difference between Orban and his opponent was at least 9%. So it was even not, there was no reason to oppose this and try to get people on the streets for Orban and for his team. So what we hope here in Ukraine, that now we have a chance to get our relations with Hungary normalized. Because though we know that people in Poland, Czechia, Slovakia, Hungary, they all know what it is to live under Russia's foot. They all know like that their idea of restoring Soviet Union is not good. However, in some countries the leaders are really supportive for Ukraine, but in Hungary the leader was really anti-Ukrainian. And so right now we hope that would change, and we will be able to have a normal collaboration with the country as we have with other European states. Ukraine is not perfect, but Ukraine also is not the worst. And we mean well, and we have very good relations with so many people in Hungary, and there is absolutely no reason for us to be rivals other than the political initiatives that their previous prime minister had. I am coming from Uzhgorod. This is on the border with Slovakia, and we have Hungary very close there, and it's like people saying like our relatives, and that's why the hopes are really high that within the next couple of months we will see warming up there. I also hope that the US administration will read what Hungarian people told them and what Europeans told them, that if this is a leader who is supported by Putin, perhaps you should not be supporting him if you think of yourself as a democracy and a democratic representative. But we will see in the nearest future how it would be taken in the White House. That's it for today. We are really hopeful to talk to you soon. Goodbye.